The former CEO of Reddit, Ellen K. Powell, has made some pretty pro-censorship statements in her time, and this last week was no exception. On June 17th, the year of our Lord 2021, she stated, quote, "Deplatforming hate works. It worked on Reddit in 2015, and now it's working on YouTube." She posted that over on Twitter. Now, the key part there, quote, "Deplatforming works." These words from the former CEO of Reddit appear to closely follow those of the current leadership of Mozilla as well, who are calling for, quote, "more of deplatforming of conservative and right-wing voices." And it's not exactly a big statement advocating for free speech. Well, 2 days later, she put out some clarification on her free speech stance by saying the following, quote, "We don't need to protect speech that makes you dumber just by looking at it." The key part there. Let's drill this in down a little bit. Quote, "We don't need to protect speech." Now, to be fair, the email she was referencing in that was most certainly not the most brilliant or inspired piece of writing I've ever read. If you want all the details on that, go over to lunduke.com or click the links in the notes for this video, and you'll go to the article. I've got the screenshots from her Twitter account and links to all that stuff and everything over there. But does it make the reader dumber by looking at it? You know what? It might. It's a pretty dumb looking email. And was she simply being sarcastic? Was she simply exaggerating? Well, normally I'd say obviously. Obviously she is. Of course she is. She tweeted a snarky retort to a rude email, something I can certainly appreciate. I do that all the time myself. But in Powell's case, this isn't exactly the first time she's come out against freedom of speech in one form or another, and it's not even the first time this week. I mean, she just regularly does this sort of thing, where she's just opposed to free speech. And seeing so many leaders in the tech world take such extreme stances against freedom of speech and pro-censorship of specific groups of people, typically grouped by political ideologies, it is at the very least, it's worth noting. I just wanted to call people's attention that this is happening. You know, it's not just Mozilla. It's not just CEOs and ex-CEOs of Reddit and various other platforms. It's not just the CEO of Twitter. It's not just it's so many leaders within open source, leaders within social media, leaders in big tech, giant tech firms like Mozilla. They bring in like $500 million a year. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how much anti-freedom of speech and pro-censorship of ideas, of political leanings, etc., that are out there. It's just so much. It's so strong and overwhelming. And to be clear, I don't really care what direction that censorship gun is pointed at. I don't care if they're trying to censor people in one political side or another, or in one religious group or ethnic group or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter to me. It's just not a good thing. And I feel like when it happens, we need to point at it and do a little Nelson from Simpsons and point at them and say, "No, you're doing it wrong." I know that was the worst Nelson impression ever. I can't do a Nelson. I just can't. I have friends who can do a good Nelson, and see, I can't even do it. No matter the harder I try to do a Nelson laugh, point and laugh from The Simpsons, the worse it gets. But should I be censored for that? Probably not. Again, if you want to read the article, go over to lunduke.com. I'll put the link directly to the article over in the show description or notes or what have you. If you want to support the show and support the work I do, to support the articles I write and the comics I put out, all that good stuff, going over to lunduke.locals.com or click the links to it from lunduke.com and join the community. It is the best, nerdiest community on planet Earth, and all the proceeds go directly to supporting the Lunduke Journal, which I should point out, the Lunduke Journal is one of the few out there actual tech news sources that just doesn't take corporate money. We just take a hard stance against it. We don't do advertising of any kind. No Google ads, no nothing. No nothing. I just don't. I don't want it. I don't need it. I get supported entirely from a couple dollars pitched in here and there from the readers and the listeners and the viewers and people like you. So I can say whatever I want to say. Whatever is real, whatever is honest, my real opinion, I can say it because of people like you. And I couldn't thank you enough for allowing me to be out there and be as opinionated as I am. It means the world to me. So thank you to all the supporters over at lunduke.locals.com. Thank you to the people who help share the articles and the shows around and all that good stuff. You really make it all possible. And to that, I say, I'll see you guys later.